Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to Dark Souls. So when we left off, I gave you a warning that we're going to be going to the Oolacile area, the DLC, the place with the hard bosses next. So that's what's coming up, right? So first of all, if you remember, or a long time ago, I can barely remember at this point. My memory with this kind of stuff is usually pretty good, but we helped out Dusk, we freed her. Oh no, all her clothes are here, so... And they're also on a corpse, so it looks like Dusk is met her end somehow. And we picked up her clothing, so, you know, if we meet, like, some kind of ghost or something of her, we can give it back, I guess, or wear it ourselves. Let's go ahead and jump to this portal and view the cutscene. This is how you get to Oolacile. Nice, we're here. Alright, so that crown that we picked up, the Crown of Dusk, if you wear it, it's very powerful for sorcery. There's also a downside to it, like it boosts your sorcery's damage, but I can't remember what the downside is, but there is a downside, I know that for a fact. And I'm going to warp to Firelink Shrine because the bonfire that we just rested at is a warpable bonfire. We can warp back at any time. And the thing with the Firelink Shrine bonfire is it's kindled, so we can get a bunch of Estus ready for this boss here. Where is it? I know, Sanctuary Garden, that's it. Alright. So, right off the bat, this DLC does not play around. You fight a boss immediately, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and do that. And, you know, this is a pretty reasonably high possibility that I will die the first attempt. But typically, what I like to do with these bosses is I'll die the first attempt, not because I'm trying to die, you know, I'll try my best to succeed the fight, but I will die the first attempt, just kind of like suss out what the attacks are. I got our ring on, yes, I got the Dragon Crest ring on. But then after that, I'll know what the attacks are, I'll know how to dodge them, and I'll come back stronger than ever and finish off the boss. This is the Sanctuary Guardian. And right off the bat, he's going to just shoot lightning at us. How rude. So this guy, he doesn't mess around. He's one of the DLC's token hyper-aggressive bosses. And what that means is he'll attack much quicker than possibly what you're used to from the typical Dark Souls bosses. So I'm just going to be really careful and attack only when I know I have an opening. Like right there. Oh, I completely missed. What a fail. What a failure. Oh, wrecked. Think we have time to drink? Oh, no, we didn't. I thought wrong. That's what I get for thinking. So with that combo, he either does 2 hits or he does 4. With no in-between. He always does either 2 or 4. And this should give us time to Estus. There we go. Nice. And the buff on our weapon is going to wear out soon, so it would be good to get a hit in or two. And there we go. I mean, when we actually hit this guy, we do a lot of damage, so it's nice. It's not going to take that many hits to kill him, providing we get opportunities for those hits. There we go. Get some nice counter damage in there as well, because he should still be in an attack animation. Holy cow. We're just wrecking this fool. Man, power within is not a thing to be trifled with. Oh, there's residual lightning in the water. I actually did not know that. And you actually, you can cut off this guy's tail. It is really hard to do so, though. Come on now, let's be reasonable. Come on now. Alright, that gives me time to Estus. And then I immediately get wrecked. Alright. Luckily my shield will take most of that lightning damage. Alright, come on, charge at me. Not that kind of charge. A couple more hits and we got this fool. Oh, missed again. The wings, dude. I'm like swinging at the wings, but I'm not close enough to actually hit the boss. There we go. I can get a hit there. Our power within wore off, so we're doing a lot less damage. Alright, this is gonna do it. Goodbye. Huh, that's weird. I haven't played through Dark Souls in a couple months. I think it's been a couple months since the last playthrough, but that went a lot better than I thought it would. I'll just say that. I was expecting to have to take at least one death in order to figure out exactly what our plan of attack was gonna be against this boss, but that went very well. I'm a little bit surprised. But I'll take it. And now we get into Oolacile itself. The Oolacile Sanctuary. Oh, it's all nice after that fight. Especially if you have difficulty during that fight. And believe me, my first time fighting that lion, dude, I died multiple times. So I was like, oh, it's so good. This is your reward. A beautiful mushroom forest with statues everywhere. But, I mean, considering the Dark Souls lore, those statues are probably like petrified people, because that's how the story in this game typically goes. So try not to think too hard about it. Oh yeah, this is why I called the mushroom forest. There's a mushroom here. Hello, mushroom.
Well, look at this one. From what faraway age hast thou come? Thy scent is very human indeed, but not intolerable. Ah, Princess Dusk's savior. Thine aura is precisely as she described. I thank thee deeply for rescuing Her Highness. But Princess Dusk is here no longer, snatched away by that horrifying primeval human. And so I must ask, couldst thou once more play the savior?
Only if it means I get to kill more stuff and get more loot. Then I'm down.
Thank you. I am Elizabeth, guardian of this sanctuary. Something of a godmother to Princess Dusk. I shall assist thee to my utmost, for I am one with the sorceries of Oolacile.
Cool. So what you can buy from her is repair powder. You can buy all the spells and stuff that Dusk used to sell. She's not selling Hidden Body because we already bought that one. I believe you can only buy one of each. And also Gold Pine Resin, which is pretty powerful enchantment slash buff, but we already got a pretty good one in Crystal Magic Weapon. Anyway, so she's like, yo, Dusk has been captured again. And last I saw Dusk, well, I mean, I guess we didn't really see her, but we found her clothes on a corpse, which is never a good thing. But, I believe that Oolacile in general is in a different time than, you know, the current time that you play the main game of Dark Souls 2 in. It's in a different time zone entirely, so, you know, Dusk very well might be alive here, but, you know, dead of old age in the normal game. But that is, that's for us to figure out. Anyway, this is the forest here, the Royal Wood. There's a few items to grab in this forest. Honestly, the only interest I have as far as Oolacile goes is fighting bosses. I have like zero interest in the forest. And the reason for that is there are a couple good things you can grab. Right over there by the pool, there is a chest. It's kind of like half submerged in the pool. Inside that chest is a blue Titanite slab. And it's only one of two in the game. So again, if you're either looking to get a +10 magic weapon or +5 enchanted weapon, which are the max upgrades for that weapon, you'll need the slab. Oh gosh, there's a dragon. Don't hurt me, please. He's like, we'll meet again, and we will. We will meet him again. Probably in the next episode, actually. I don't know. Depends how quickly we go through this DLC. But anyway, yeah. If you're looking to, you know, get the no crystal lizard, don't do it. Did we get him? Oh, we got him. 2 twinkling Titanite chunk. Not bad. If you're looking to get all the achievements, then you need to max upgrade every single type of weapon, which includes the enchanted and the magic weapons. So, blue Titanite slab equals useful. We'll kill one of these gardener dudes just because I haven't killed one yet, and they're kind of hilarious. Is that a one-shot without any buffs? It is. not bad. Not bad at all. Not that those gardener dudes are super tough. They're probably by far the weakest enemies in this whole area, but it's the small victories that count. So the main thing we want to do around here is just open up some shortcuts. Also, we want to get to that castle thing in the distance. That's kind of our plan of attack here. So that's mostly just running past all the gardener zombies. And I believe all these guys have hollowed out at this point, so zombies would be the correct term. We'll check in here. Is this one active? This is a shortcut. Yes, indeed, this is active. Okay. So this is a shortcut that will take us to... it takes us to here. Nice. I like it. So there's 3 different shortcuts. There's one here. There's one here. Which we will have to unlock. But this one will take us to a later stage of this level, if you want to call it a level. That right there is our next boss fight. This is one that people have been telling me. I've had a couple people in the comments say, oh boy, you're screwed when it comes to this boss fight. This one's going to be hard, and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see. This is the boss fight that... I'm not sure what is the hardest boss in Dark Souls. With Dark Souls 2, the developers actually released the top 5 hardest bosses, like statistically, based on like people's deaths and how often they were able to complete them, which was kind of cool. I don't know if they've done that with Dark Souls 1 or not, but I would imagine that this boss coming up would be one of the very highest with how often people die versus it. Okay, so this is another shortcut that we can unlock, and there is an NPC down there. We'll talk to him in a second. But this shortcut will take us actually quite close to the bonfire. So if we die versus this boss, and you know, I like to think I'm somewhat skilled at Dark Souls PvE, but at the same time, we'll probably die at least once or twice. I'll try to keep the deaths to a minimum though. So this shortcut will just make it a quicker trip from the bonfire, which is very nice. So I'll send this back up to the top because we'll probably be needing it at least once, if not many multiple times. And let's talk to our friend here. Hey, what's up, bro?
Let me guess. Snatched by a shadowy limb and dragged off to the past.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. How do you know?
Yes, of course. Exactly what happened to me. We are both strangers in this strange land. But at least now there are 2 of us.
That's it?
Did you happen across Knight Artorias? The legendary abyss walker from the old tales? Well, if you haven't, it's just as well. He's a colorless sort, if you ask me.
Alright, so I believe this guy's name is Charlie, I want to say. He looks like he's all dressed up in like Bloodborne attire. It's pretty awesome. This is similar stuff to what you would wear if you were, you know, playing Bloodborne. It's kind of that style. He sells some useful stuff, like this is the moss that cures toxin, which would be really nice if we were, you know, coming across any toxin creatures. We don't need it, but if you were like planning on doing a New Game Plus run, you might want to buy some. He sells some interesting stuff. Homeward Bones, actually, we might want to buy some of them. But if I can recall, I think they're cheaper at the Female Undead Merchant. And also, Humanity for 10,000 each, which is totally not worth it. I will buy some Green Blossoms, though, because I don't use them as often as I should. He also sells some arrows.
So long.
Alright, so there's a couple things about this guy. For one, if you can kill him right now, and if you kill him, he will not invade you. If you do not kill him, and you are human at a later stage of this DLC, he will, in fact, invade you. I don't remember when it is, when this invasion happens, but I do know that it does happen. So I'm going to let him live, just because I think it'd be kind of fun to fight him. I'm just going to check around here, see if there's any items we missed. This looks like a place where an item would be. No? This is like the perfect place for an item. This is like the most Dark Soulsiest placement for an item ever. I'm quite shocked there's nothing there. I'm just trying to, you know, postpone having to do this fight because I'm not exactly looking forward to it. But, you know, the fight isn't gonna fight itself. Let's do this. Power within. Crystal magic weapon. And again, be prepared for me dying, because this is a difficult one. Definitely more difficult than Lion. Let's go for it. We'll get a cool little cutscene here to start off. Wrecked! Oh. He's so cool. Alright, so this is Artorias. There is one very simple trick with Artorias. One very, very simple trick that makes this fight so much easier. Bro, chill. That I don't see a whole lot of people doing. Oh, the iframes. Didn't do it for me. Alright, we need to heal now. Oh, got wrecked. Oh, I'm rolling a little bit too early on that very attack. Just every time. So the hardest thing about Artorias is he just does not allow you time to heal. That's the most difficult thing about this fight. And also, I gotta get the dodge timings down, because I'm just gonna get wrecked. He does not allow you time to heal, and he's also very adept at dodging your attacks. Yeah, I'm still dodging too early. Or too late, one of the two. I'm honestly not sure at this point. Alright. So he should attempt to buff himself pretty soon here. I'm not sure when that happens. Okay, we get it. You're scary. Stop roaring at me, bro. There we go. Hey, I got a successful dodge. So my weapon's not doing that much damage. Oh, I finally dodged it. Nice. It was too early. Alright. So this fight is just a learning experience. This is just to learn the attacks. We're not going to win this one. Or if we did, I would be very surprised. I would have to pull one out, man. And we're completely failing with all the dodging. Come on! Oh my gosh. We're getting wrecked. There we go. I would appreciate a time to Estus. That would be nice. I gotta be careful here, though. There we go. Estus time? Hey, what a nice guy. He actually allowed me to Estus. I appreciate that, bro. There we go. It's happening. It's happening. It's totally happening. Okay, when he tries to buff, you have to hit him. And because I'm not buffed with Crystal Magic Weapon right now, I'm actually not able to do enough damage to knock him out of his buff. But when he tries to buff, if you do enough damage to him, you can actually stop his buffing animation, and he will not buff. And that's basically what you have to do to beat this fight, because now that he's buffed, if he hits, and he will, it's going to do so much damage. It's going to just really suck getting hit by him. So, after a while the buff will wear off, but honestly the best thing to do is just knock him out of the buff. And to do that you need to be doing more damage than we're doing right now. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're not dead! We're not dead! We're totally not dead, bro! Nice. I'm starting to get some good dodges here. He's trying to buff? Alright. Oh, he did it! Nice! Okay, so maybe it's not the damage. Maybe it's just like you have to get a certain amount of attacks. Okay. But that's the main thing I can recommend for this fight, is just don't let him buff. Because if you don't let him buff, his attacks, you know, they still hurt, but they're... Oh, I didn't think you had it in you. I didn't think you're gonna do that, bro. Yeah, his attacks still definitely hurt. Even unbuffed, like, he's still wrecking my face, but they are manageable. That's the thing. They don't, like... He's not gonna two-hit you. Alright, so I actually have an idea for what's gonna make this fight a lot easier for us. And I'll bring that idea to your attention after we die here. I mean, I might as well Estus up and give it a shot. He's not even half dead, and I'm gonna be out of Estus, but we might as well try. Oh, that was a poorly timed dodge. That sucked. Artorias himself is actually quite adept at dodging, I gotta say, so... Alright. I'm just trying to get some hits in when we can. And he's almost half dead, which is... I think that's honorable. For a first attempt anyway. We're getting a good judge of his attacks. Okay, he's buffing, run in. Yeah, okay, we're just too far away that time. So that's another thing with Artorias. You never want to be too far away from him when he might buff, because if he buffs, yeah, you're just in a world of pain, bro. Shield up. And I got no Estus left. I mean, we could Humanity, I guess, but I think we only have a couple Humanity left, so it's probably not a good idea to use him up on our very first attempt. Another option is just to be super cautious and back off. Oh, I don't think he was going to go for the double hit there. But you can just back off while his buff is active and wait for it to wear. And that's another option. That was a very long fight to end in disappointment. But I have an idea for something that's going to make this fight so much easier. And that's actually going to be... Remember how I said we weren't going to switch up our weapon in the last episode? Yeah, it's time to switch up our weapon. So yeah, I will be back after I have gotten to a blacksmith where we can do that. Alright, so I realized the fatal flaw in our otherwise pretty awesome build very, very soon on into the fight with Artorias. Not only is it going to be an issue with Artorias, but also the other two bosses that we still have yet to fight in this Oolacile. And the thing is, all these bosses are very aggressive, which means that they're not going to allow you time to buff your weapon. Which means that it would be much better for these fights anyway to have a weapon that's not going to require being buffed with Crystal Magic weapon in order to be effective. So we're coming to our blacksmith friend in Orlando. I still have the crystal umber, I guess, that I never gave to him. So let's go ahead and reinforce our Velka's rapier here. Remember I was talking up this weapon saying it's real good and stuff, but I wasn't going to use it? Well, times change. People change. We're going to now use it. It requires Twinkling Titanite. It requires 15 to get all the way upgraded, which is a lot. But when it is upgraded all the way, look at these stats. Oh my gosh. It's a lot, man. It's, oh, I'm so bad at math. But that's roughly 350 damage. Including scaling, of course. I think, right? Yeah, around 350, 370, more like, would be accurate. That's a lot of damage. Of course, that's more magic damage than it is physical damage, but still, it's a lot of damage. So, the hope is it will be enough damage so that I'm not dealing 70 damage per hit versus Artorias. Ideally, we want to be more in like the 200-ish range would be nice. And he does have some pretty good armor, so 200 might be a bit greedy, but we want to, you know, be hitting this guy instead of essentially just ineffectively swatting at him with our baller sword when it's not infused with crystal. Alright, so why did I come here? Oh, I think I just came here to to get my Estus back up. Alright, I'll be back once I am ready to fight Artorias once again. Okay, now we're actually going to be cutting to post-commentary after this, because this next fight coming up against Artorias, I decided to use the Velka's Rapier that we had just upgraded all the way to +5. I was really excited about it. I was like, oh, this is going to work so much better than the Baller Sword. Well, turns out that is completely incorrect. I'm not sure why. I guess that Artorias has incredibly high magical defense, at least against, you know, weapon infusions. I think sorcery, if you use, like, you know, some of those Soul Spear spells and stuff like that, it still absolutely destroys him. But for whatever reason, this Velka's Rapier, even though it has like 350 damage, if you count up all the damage and the scaling and all that, it's a lot of damage, at least it says so on the weapon. But it did 40 damage or 50 damage to Artorias when you hit him with it. I personally can't figure it out. I don't know why the damage is so low. Like, I realize his armor is pretty good, but still, that is ridiculous. It's something like an 85% damage reduction. So obviously that wasn't going to work. And basically what I had to do is I just had to, like, survive in this arena for a long time. You can see eventually, after a couple minutes of fighting Artorias, I pretty much have his attack pattern figured out. I don't think for the last 10 minutes of this fight I was hit more than maybe once or twice. So I was really able to preserve Estus, and I basically just waited. And waited and waited and waited. The first time he buffed himself, because he takes quite a long time to buff himself. The first couple of times he did it, I was like a little bit apprehensive still, but the third time that he went for the buff, I went for the weapon switch and I put on the Baller Sword again. And the Baller Sword, you know, again, it wasn't doing a whole lot of damage, but it did significantly more than the Velka's Rapier, and I was finally able to finish off this fight. And the whole thing took, I think, 18 minutes and 50 seconds in the arena with Knight Artorias. I have no idea how I survived personally. That is just kind of ridiculous to live that long in a fight this intense. But, like, yeah, I was so hype at the end of it. But we're coming up to the near the end of the fight now, and by this time I have his attack pattern like 100% figured out. So I haven't even been hit in quite some time. And finally, we're gonna finish off Artorias. Just an epic second DLC boss fight here. And we still have 2 more bosses to go in this Oolacile area, and I'm going to have 1 episode for each of them. So the next one, we're going to be fighting the Manus, Father of the Abyss boss, and I'm really looking forward to that one, because in a lot of people's opinions, he is the hardest boss in all of Dark Souls. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but he's definitely a difficult one. So we get the Soul of Artorias, which you can turn into a greatsword, or you can trade it to a woman who we'll run into later on for like a couple of swords, like the Silver Tracer and the Gold Tracer. Pretty decent weapons. I don't think we have any use for them with this build, but anyway, that is Artorias dead, and that means that next time we can go and explore the township of Oolacile and also the Oolacile dungeon, and there's going to be, you know, some cool items to pick up, as well as, you know, one of the hardest bosses to take on next if Artorias wasn't hard enough. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.